All right. Hold on, y'all. One moment. I'm going to show my whiteboards. So let me. All right. There's a whiteboard. That's good. Hold on. Thank you very much. Hey, everyone. It's me, Ari Dostet, Call Rashid. I'm your anthropologist and sociologist. Thanks for being here. If you're Italian, call me Milano. Thank you for your name, perfectly fine. Hit the like button, share this live stream, subscribe to the channel, become a member channel. Please donate, links below. You can book a session with me, a one-on-one consultation. Check the fees and instructions in the description box below. Check my novels and other creative works on Amazon, Barnes& Noble, wherever you can find them. And above all, pay close attention to the live stream. Pray about it afterwards, take notes, and where this knowledge applies in your life, apply this knowledge to glorify Heavenly Father. Now, this live stream is a bit late, later than I would usually do it, 3 hours later than usual. But anyway, I'm here, and I want to know how you all doing today. Let me know in the live chat, please. Thank you very much. How are you all doing today? All right, God is good. Um, all right. So what we're about to do now is I'm about to explain a very dangerous, problematic belief a lot of people have. Now to make notes on the whiteboard also. Don't be anxious for nothing, Sheena. Just give it all to Heavenly Father. Don't be anxious for nothing. But okay, I'm going to explain a very problematic thinking, an extremely problematic thinking a lot of people have, really. Now, if you would raise your child with the following saying, if you do good in life, others will be good towards you. If you do bad, you'll get bad back. How many of you can explain already what's wrong with this saying? If you do good to others, others will be good towards you. If you do bad, bad things will happen towards you. How many of you already understand this quite problematic? Because first of all, not everyone in the world is in the right mind. Not everyone in the world even wants solutions. So you have no guarantee just because you're being good, others will be good towards you too. If you've been raised by your parents to believe this crap, you're going to be into a lot of trouble in life. Or just work hard and it'll all go well in life. Yeah. First of all, when it comes to work, you need to be invited through a job vacancy. People have to give you a job, and if they agree to pay you. Also, people must be willing to give you opportunity to work, even because doing work without it's being agreed upon, you can either be trespassing, or people can sue you, or you'll be unpaid, whatever. So work hard and you have a good life. All things like be good to others, others will good towards you. Those are problematic statements. We get it. But the thing is, there are far worse problematic statements a lot of people believe that put themselves in harm's way. Okay, you begin to grow in your mother's belly. All right, that's where you begin. Then you were born. You were the little baby over here. Then you became a small child. Then you became a teenager. We went through your sexual development. Then became the full grown adult right over here. And one day, so baby, child, teen, adult, and one day your body will expire, you'll die. So you're active on earth in this lifetime. Well, not really active, but you're here from time you're born till the day you die. Okay? For some people, unfortunately, it comes way too early. Hopefully, this comes after decades of living a good life. But anyway, from your mother's womb, you were born, you grow up, become an adult, and one day your body will expire. And so you are socialized. So you're formed by the group that raised you. The group imprints ideas, attitudes, and triggers in you. One common trigger is your first name. If people kept saying Ralph to me when I was a little baby, until all my early childhood, I would think my first name would be Ralph. That's what I would think. One time, they arrested parents in the United States for being abusive, and they asked the child, "What's your name?" The child said, "Idiot." The child really thought her name was Idiot. Now, so triggers. A trigger just an emotional charge. That's what a trigger is. Some mention your first name, that's emotional charge. Or someone, for example, spelling your name. If your name is Sarah, some people write Sarah with an H at the end, some don't. If your parents decided to write if your name is Sarah, your parents wrote it without an H on your birth certificate, and later like someone writes your name Sarah with an H, you say that's wrong. Why is that a trigger? Because that's an agreement you agreed with. Okay? In the 18th century, people were not that strict about it always, but for administrative purposes, people are very strict about it today, and it is understandable. Cuss words, swear words. There's no such thing as a curse word. Someone telling you I'm taking a shite or I'm taking a shit, or someone saying I'm defecating, exact same thing. They're pooping. Why saying I'm defecating sounds more at ease than someone saying I'm taking a shite or I'm taking a shit? It has to do with emotional charges. That's to be with triggers we put inside of you. Some saying shit, some saying defecate is exact same activity. You're pooping. But with one, you're trained to be upset. With the other one, you remain calm. Okay? So you're born from baby to child, become a teen, in your sexual development, you become an adult. And one day your body will expire. Now, in this lifetime, the ideas, attitudes, and triggers you got in your socialization will play out in your adult life. Now, as an adult, you have the great ability to decide, you know what, let me revise these ideas, let me change the attitudes, let me face my triggers. A teenager may have insight in all of this, but for a teenager, especially, I'm talking about people till age 16, you can't really expect them to do the deep work. From adults, you can expect them to do the deep work, at least look for help to do the deep work. Okay? But I want to talk about this. Your first name, your added, the language you speak also shaped how you view the world. So these ideas, attitudes, and triggers, they didn't come from you. They came from the environment, your parents, your uncles, the school teacher, all people that socialize you. So we're socialized into ideas of how things should be. You get me? But a lot of people, they never question, they never question the ideas they have. Now, from the ideas shape your attitudes, which also leads to triggers. So The attitude is a result of an idea you have. For example, if you believe that if you believe that people should never uh, question authority, that's an idea you have, just an idea. So now your attitude will be, anyone that question authority, I don't deal with them, I get upset with them. Or anyone that just allows authority, I feel comfortable around them. So the attitude, it's how you position yourself, is based on ideas you have. But here's the thing, if you never question the ideas you have, then you're in trouble. Because what if the ideas you have are either problematic or simply wrong? They're simply not true, or they're simply problematic. That's what I'm talking about today. Now, one idea most human beings love is the idea of ownership. Ownership has this one promise: exclusive control without obligations to others. That's really what the idea of ownership comes down to. You have exclusive control without obligation to others. If you go to a park, just any park out there, and you send up a camp, you want to camp over there. Let's say someone walks by and says, I don't want you here. You can ask them, who are you? You don't own this place. What do you have to say over here? What if you go to a farm and the people living on that farm? Now they can tell you this private property don't be here. Why? Ownership. And ownership is something you learn as a child. Don't touch other people's stuff. Don't steal. Ask for permission. In a supermarket, you need to buy stuff. You need to pay for stuff to get them. You don't just take them. That's stealing. Just you go to prison for that. Ownership is an idea that human beings love so much. People are willing to die, to fight and die for ownership. But here's the issue: does human ownership even exist? People say, Rashid, of course it exists, man. If you go to your neighbor's house uninvited, you're trespassing. And if you enter the house, it's a break-in. They call the cops, or either they can beat you up, they can injure you physically, or kill you out of self-defense. So what you're saying is that, listen, there's a building that's been built decades ago. Someone else takes this thing called cash, is printed by the government to be in that building. And now there's an agreement, a social agreement, that they now have a right to use that place exclusively, as long as they pay rent. And you being there is not part of the contract. And that's why it's called trespassing. So all of these are social arrangements. Okay? What if you have a squatter? What if you have a squatter who builds a tunnel beneath your residence and they stay there? Or what if you're on vacation in another country for 2 months and someone's just in house chilling around and you never find out? Let's say you find out someone's been going in and out of your house for over a year. When they went in and out of your house for over a year, did something bad happen to them? No, they just walked in and out. Only thing that can happen is you find out we're in your house, you couldn't, they weren't okay with it. You can have proof of it, go to court of law and press charges. So now you are using revenge from the government to vindicate your claim over this my house. What if you don't pay your taxes and they arrest you? Now you can't pay house anymore. Now it's sold to someone else, or someone else is rented to. So it was never yours to begin with. It was just an arrangement that people let you stay there. If you have a plot of land, okay, imagine in the 1500s you had Portuguese people that came to South America. When they called that area that they claimed Brazil. When did Brazil became Portuguese? When they put the Portuguese flag over there? Listen, these Portuguese men just came there, saw a lot of land, and made a claim on it. But the natives there thought, what the heck is this? We don't know. Who are you guys? The Portuguese had guns with bullets, and because they were able to kill, so cause death and injury to the natives, the injuries stayed away, and that's how they vindicated their claim. And later, you had more Portuguese settlers. That's how you had the first Portuguese cities there. Later, became independent of Brazil. Listen, neither the natives were there already, nor the Portuguese arrived ever owned that plot of land. It was always owned by only their father's ownership. Only to have a father's ownership. So, because the thing is, this thing, exclusive control without having obligations with others, means that you don't explain yourself. You can do whatever you want, will whatever you will, free will. You don't own explain anyone else. But here's the thing, though: if others do the same towards you, now you're upset. Do you see that this thing doesn't add up? Human ownership is a hoax. It does not actually exist. I mean, think about the Native Americans. A lot of them, think about the indigenous Americans have been slaughtered by some of these colonizers in the Americas. Did that ownership protect them against any harm? No. Listen, when did ownership develop? When you were in your mother's womb, when you were a baby and a child, when did it develop? When did personal space develop? When did privacy develop? Privacy, personal space, boundaries, none of these things actually exist. They're narcissistic imaginations people have. Only that my father has ownership. So what do we have? We, as human beings, hold on. The only thing we have are associations and possessions. Possession relates to inanimate objects or animals or things like plots of land, and associations to do with other people. These are the only things you have in this lifetime, y'all. Possessions, and possession means your dominant grip on inanimate objects like your clothes, like this, like objects in your house, like a car, a vehicle, whatever. Animals, like you have pets or whatever, or you have livestock, or plus like you're a farmer or whatever. It can also be a house or a building. So you have possessions, and when it comes to other people, you have associations. That's all you have as a human being. Even Jesus Christ comes back and will have immortal bodies. You will still only have associations and possessions. Only God is the owner. Okay? This is something Satan understands, the fallen angels understand, even the Nephilim entities understand this, holy angels understand this. I would even dare to say that animals, or not even spirit beings, understand this, y'all. But you know who else understand this? A lot of people out there. They want this thing called ownership so much. Now, don't get me wrong. In human arrangements that we made, according to human laws, if you rent a place, you can be kicked out if you don't pay rent. If you purchase a place, you can be there as long as you want. However, if you don't pay the tax, it can take away from you. Okay? So you have legal ownership, which is a fiction we made to organize and distribute resources on the earth. Legal ownership is a fiction that governments enact to arrange resources. Let's say you're on your farm, okay? Which again, it's a possession you have, okay? You don't own it. Let's say now someone comes, bang, 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 shoots you, you're dead. And now there was on the farm. 10 years later, someone else comes and bang, bang, shoots them too. Do you see how there's no thing as ownership? There's no thing as boundaries, privacy, and all those things, but those things don't exist. But here's the thing. This obsession with ownership, with human ownership, is why so many people get killed each year. Let me tell you why. If you believe in ownership, You also believe in personal space. That means you not claim an area around you, you have a right to control. They also believe in boundaries binding people to your right to control. Now this will automatically lead to conflict with other people if you get me. But one thing you need to understand here: legal ownership can only be enforced through violence because it doesn't actually exist in reality, in nature. It does not actually exist. But because it doesn't actually exist, it has no actual real benefit to it. All right. Before I continue, is all of this clear to y'all? Let me know. Is all of this clear? All right. Let me move over here. Okay, let's say this is you. Okay. You're in your house. Okay, this is your house, some roof up there. This the house you live in. Okay. Now, there are walls, and these walls are make it. These walls make sure people can physically see what goes on. Okay. Let's say your neighbor over here has a camera. Has a camera that is aimed at your house. Okay. You now can go to the police and say he's violating my privacy. Hold on a minute. What do you have here? You have walls in a structure from a house. You have walls here from a house. You have a device over here that can record. And you have a human being over you with an energy field. Where is this thing called privacy? Where is it? It's not there. It's an imagination. You know what I mean? What if someone had cameras even put in your house without your awareness, recording you without you being aware of it, and you weren't aware of it? Where's the privacy thing? How is it protecting you? How's it helping you? It's not. Let's remove the camera thing over here. What people don't understand is that you can build physical barriers to keep other people out physically or to keep things out of sight. For example, let's say you're cheating on your wife here in the bedroom. Others can see you're cheating with your wife over here, but guess what? Let's say you're cheating on your wife. One moment. You will develop this pollution around you. Okay? Also, this toxic radiation that you emit will go through the entire earth. You get me? Let's say you're cheating on your wife here in your house. That toxic pollution you generate in your energy field, you radiate it throughout the entire earth. It goes through the entire earth. Your neighbor here, also, the radiation goes through your neighbor too. Now, the neighbor will feel some dirtiness out of the blue. It doesn't understand why. Okay? Let's say you go to work now. You leave this place called your house to go to an office building. Let's say you're here in the office building. You still have a polluted energy field because of sexual misfortune, and you radiate that shit everywhere. So everyone in a building can pick up there's some sexual pollution with you, even if they don't know they were cheating on your wife. Now they know the exact pollution goes on, but they can pick it up. And people can read any. Let's say that there's someone in this office building over here who picks up some pollution, and they begin to do inquiries to the ether. Remember, the ether makes a live 3D recording of all that happens on the earth. Okay? So this colleague at work feels this pollution, this is radiating out of you, and he does this inquiry. He'll get an echo back from the ether. He'll get an echo back from the ether with information, and he'll may see visuals, short flashes of you having sex with a strange woman. Let's say the woman you cheated on your wife with had the red hair. Your colleague may see you having sex with a woman with red hair just for 2 3 seconds, just a flash. Why? There's a 3D recording of what you were doing in your house, in your bedroom, in the ether. Okay? It's in the ether. And it's pollution you emit. So your colleague now can do an inquiry, zoom in on you, focus on you, get an echo back, and can pick up what's going on. Now, if he sees the visual of you having sex with a red-haired woman, he has no proof you actually had sex with a red-haired woman and your wife is blonde. He may think maybe your wife dyed her hair red, whatever. Anyway, what you did here inside the building, behind closed doors, within all these thick walls, it's recorded 3D by the ether as a hologram. Everything from Adam till now, till Christ comes back, is recorded. So even though human beings can't directly see everything like you would be with our IT systems, people can get echoes back. So you think that you have this thing called privacy because you had sex in your own place, but it's nobody's business. Listen, everything you do as spirit being, you radiate. Not people will not know exactly what you're doing, but you radiate everything you're doing. And if what you're doing is negative, the pollution you radiate everywhere, and people can figure out this pollution go on. If they're energetically sharp, they can do increase and figure things out. So there's no such thing as ownership, no personal space, no boundaries. These things don't exist. So if you think that just because you do things behind closed walls, that's all a secret and safe, you're wrong. Listen, you can't hide anything under heaven. You can only shield off information energetically. You can do that. But you can't hide anything under heaven, y'all. Especially in the long run. Everything will come out sooner or later. You can only shield it off for the moment. But I explained this already. Another thing I want you to understand. Let me just wipe this out very quickly. So we know privacy, ownership, all these things are bad. But now I'm going to give you another example why it's so horrible for you to believe these things. Okay. Let's say this is you. Oh, I still wet. My bad. Let's try this very quickly. Okay. I say this to you. Okay. You bought a new car. Okay. What I say now, you have a bunch of people over here with an issue with you having that car. They generate heavy contention. They echo it. This goes throughout the whole earth. If you're within 13 miles, you're going to feel this heaviness around you. Mm-hmm. So this your energy fields, you're going to feel the weight around you. So now, what if you focus the negativity on the car? So now the car is negatively charged. You drive that car, you end up in accidents, either you'll die or you hit someone else, whatever. So even though nobody physically comes and stop touch your car, they can cause you have accidents with your car just with this heavy contention to release in the atmosphere. You close the doors of your car, being there physically doesn't stop the radiation and echoes spiritually from affecting you. Because remember, the spirit world is one open field. In the physical, we have physical matter where we can seal things off. Like we built a building, we can keep energy, we can keep heat within. You can build floors in a building. You can build a fence to keep you out physically. You can put security guards, security cameras, all that. But listen, the spirit world is one open field. So you having this car, but there are people around who have issues with it. That next thing is going to affect you. Worse, let's say you have your own house. You bought your own house. Let's say you bought a house of 2 million US dollars. It's a nice house. But a lot of people in society don't agree with you having that. All that negative contention that's hitting that house while you're there, they can ran you out of your own house and you become homeless, yo. Or they can cause you to fall off the stairs and die over there, whatever, yo. People can trigger such misfortune on you. And it doesn't matter how thick your walls are, how many security cameras you have, how many guns you have. All spiritual age goes through all of that, yo. You know what I mean? That's why people at the top in the world who have so much cash flow, so-called top elite, they understand there's no such thing as human ownership. They understand that legal ownership is a fiction, and they understand that if the only thing that really matters are energy waves and persistent pressure on a spirit level, those are the only things that matter to get outcomes in this life. You need to have an energy wave in your favor, and therefore you need to persist energetic pressure on something. And if both go well, you have leverage over your associations with other people and the possessions you have. You will accumulate more possessions that way. Energy waves and persistent pressure through energy waves. These things will give you leverage. And the leverage gives you relevancy. And with the relevancy, you'll be considered more in daily life by other people, and you have easier time getting things manifest in the physical. The people at the top in this world, throughout human history, they don't believe in human ownership. They know legal ownership is just a fiction they use in a court of law just to regulate resources. They know that we only have associations and possessions. Associations are not a guarantee because people can abandon you, unfriend you, turn on you, whatever. Wherever if you have relevancy, people are going to be very unlikely. They're going to be very discouraged from turning on you. So you have leverage in your associations with other people. More people need to be your friend just because you have leverage. When it comes to possessions, we have relevancy and people have this pressure to get along with you. It's easier to get trigger cash flow and eventually get finances, the getting done on earth. Okay? Now, the world only can have leverage, but they don't have power. Now, what is power? Okay, let me explain to you. Let's go over here. Let's say Jack has this house over here. But Jack is a pagan, so he puts charms all over his house. You know what I mean? The charm will slow down negative tension. So if a robber comes to rob the place, the robber will feel this heaviness on him. You know what I mean? Caused by the charm. The robber can still rob the place, but it's going to be very hard for him to do it because there's a charm. Let's say now you have a believer that walks by faith. The leader walks by faith has a house over here. And they, by faith, by decrees, declaration, fasting, can generate a whole force field of positivity around. And there'll be holy angels over there also guarding the force field. So this blocks negative tension. So the danger is completely shut down. The danger is completely shut down. The believer is a pagan. So the pagan over here has delay of danger. So next tension is slowed down, but it can still come nearby. The believer that walks by faith generates a whole force field of positive tension around this house. And the holy angels now that we floating around it, so the negative tension will be blocked out. So this is real safety. The thing is, the pagan has a slowing down or a delay of danger, but danger still around. Let's say go to a common unbeliever. Here's them, here's their house, and they may use, and they don't need to compensate. Compensate by having guns or security dogs or whatever. Because the thing is, they have zero cover whatsoever. So any negative tension can hit them anytime. They are a complete open field. Now, the pagan has a charm that slows down negative tension around the house. The believer that walks by faith has an actual force field around, because the believer actually has power. And this here, guys, is power. And God only gives power to believers he can trust. Okay? So, again, does the believer own the house now because he generates force field around it? No. He still only has the house only in possession. The believer just has the leverage, has the power now to generate this safety over there with the power of the Holy Spirit. The pagan doesn't own anything, only has the house as a possession. The pagan slows down danger against the house. That's why a lot of burglars stay away, even though they can still be robbed. The common unbeliever relies on guns, security dogs, the police, all that, because they have no cover whatsoever. And this is most people. Most people, they have all these fantasies and fetters in their head. Oh, I got my gun. I know self-defense is my property. Get off my property, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you own nothing. Never did, never will. God is your owner. You only have associations and possession in his life. Those at the top in the world, they know this. And that's why they have a realistic view on how to live life and how to get an advantage in life. Most people don't understand all this, y'all. Listen, how come there are women out there who walk around with short skirts, high heels, all that makeup on, and no man even, not those doesn't even touch them? But then if a woman fully clothed and she's touched, kicked around, raped, whatever, and it's because the woman that walked around in a sexy outfit and no guy even bothered with her, it is because she had spiritual leverage that she operated in. And that's why these men didn't feel comfortable being around her. The other woman's operating likely in negativity and bitterness. And this bitterness first clicked with the negativity of this toxic man. And guess what? Damn, there's a click. And now they had full access to come towards her. Listen, below age 16, with some people already can do it from age 15, but I just say 16. Below age 16, you can't bounce off negative charges from your energy field from the outside. So before that, you have to actually at the mercy of your environment. But from 16 and above, listen, you're able to bounce off negative charges off of you. So you have to be responsible as a spirit being to bounce off negative charges. Okay? So again, let me show it over here. Hold on. You have one woman over here. Another one over here. Okay? This one over here is in a high vibration. right? And positivity, all of that. This one over here is wounded with a lot of heavy loads. So let's say if all these weirdo men over here, sex offenders, rapists, whatever, who are they going to be comfortable with this one over here? So all these weirdo dudes, this woman is already clicked with all the misfortune on the earth anyway. So she already has a link with all these toxic men, even if she never met them before. And that's why they have such easy way coming towards her. But this woman over here, because she's not clicked with the paranormal that way, or because she has this high vibration that scares off these type of people, they tend to avoid her altogether. Okay? There's a spirit science what goes on in the spirit world. So it doesn't matter how much so-called boundaries you set as a woman. It doesn't matter if you know how to use consent. It doesn't matter how much self-defense you do. Listen, if you're energetically polluted, that pollution clicks you with all the polluted people on the earth. And that also includes all the dangerous, fucked up people that may do you harm. If you're in high vibration, if you're a pagan or a common unbeliever in high vibration is low, because pagans and common unbelievers cannot be in high vibration for way too long. They're going to do it in seasons and peaks. That's why they follow moon cycles, all of that. But a believer can be in high vibration all the time. If you're in high vibration, for that moment on, you bounce off because it's a clash between the wastefulness of these people and you in high vibration. Okay? Before I continue, well, actually, I don't really have much to say anymore. I can wrap this up. Are there questions about this topic? Let me know in the live chat, please. Let me know. Are there questions about this topic? I think I spelled the word wrong over here, but you know what? I don't care if I spelled the word wrong. It's late at night over here, and I know to do a live stream for you guys. As long as you understand the topic, this what matters to me. So yeah, you only have associations and possession in this lifetime. That's what you have. And how do you have stable associations, and how can you preserve possessions by having a spiritual leverage? So you need to have energy waves in your favor, and a way that you put persistent energy pressure. That's how things work. All these things about ownership and all these other things, y'all, it's just la la land that will get you killed or endangered. That's all it is. If you don't know spirit science and you know to use spiritual science properly, you think you have leverage, but you have actually nothing. And too many people don't even have the chance to figure out the hard way because they die. Simple as that. Listen, if you have a lot of frustration, whatever, you just need to process whatever it is you need to process. If you need therapy or what the counseling, whatever, you need to process it and let go of any attachment that doesn't serve you. How do they increase on the ether? Well, there's something you need to practice. You need to zoom in with your mind. You need to focus with your mind intensely. You practice little by little, and before you know it, it goes more smoother. And that's how you begin to get echoes. You don't have to be a fortune teller or a seer to do any of this. Any human being can do it. It's just that the seer is anointed by God to do this more easier. And that the fortune teller uses demons to do as demonic sisters do it. But every human being can do this. Okay? If you are holding on to ideas that the world validates that are not harmony with God's will, that are not even real in reality, you are in trouble, y'all. Serious trouble. That's why religious people are in such danger. Again, you want better outcomes in a physical life? Change the cause. The cause energetic. So I did live streams with energy waves, how to bend energy waves, all that. Watch those before. Then I watched those the last years I made before, y'all. I spent all of it in it. If you believe in this hoax of human ownership, which is actually where the whole thing of free will comes from, willing whatever you will. If you invest in this hoax, y'all, whether it's in form of boundaries, privacy. And by the way, I'm not saying that you should share your data with everyone. I'm not saying everyone should be able to just walk into your house just like that. No, no, I'm not saying any of that. Of course, data has to be protected from people that have no business having the data. Of course, you should watch out what you're telling other people. Of course, people need to have a good reason why they want to know things about you. Just know all these claims of self-ownership, having your own universe, are baloney la la land, y'all. You need actual real leverage to work with in life. And a lot of people don't have real leverage because they keep holding on to the bullshit. If you hold on to the bullshit, I can't help you. If you hold on to the bullshit, you keep yourself trapped in a delusion. I can't help you. You actually are endangering yourself. You have to want to be saved. You have to want to be rescued. And a lot of people are not teachable, y'all. But I'm teaching you right now, for those who are teachable, you have associations and possession in life. No ownership. So energy waves that be in your favor, emphasis and pressure. Now, a lot of people in the world use negative energy waves. They trigger negative energy waves to get things done at other people's expense. It's wrong, it shouldn't happen, but it's still how things work. It's energy waves with persistent pressure. That's how things work on the earth. That's how you get things done. Energy waves and persistent pressure will both for good and for bad. But if you believe in these things, I rely on the government to help you. You're in magical thinking, y'all. You need to give that up. You have no control and never will have control. You have management through leverage. So that's all you need to practice. If you keep holding on to control, listen, don't bother me with stupid questions, y'all. If you hold on to delusion, it's on you. Give it. Give that shit up and embrace the real knowledge from your father to live with. All right? Are there any questions? Let me know in the live chat, please. Let me know. Oh, here's another thing I want you to know. Consent does not exist in the spirit world. If someone has a negative energy wave and they hit it towards you, listen, whether you want or not, it's still happening. You need to counter it. There's no such thing as consent and permission in the spirit world. An energy wave either overtakes you or you counter it, as simple as it is. And one that persists in an energetic tension, whatever assumption, spiritual assumption you're making will harden into fact eventually. That's how it works, y'all. Now, consent exists legally when it comes to sexual activity and financial transactions. So you can go, people can charge you to go to prison for rape or for theft, all of that. But those are all human arrangements. Spiritually, in full nature, in actual raw nature, there's no such thing as consent. The one with the strongest energy wave, through persistent spiritual pressure, they get the advantage to to harden into fact whatever they're assuming. Even in the physical, human laws can only be enforced if there's capacity for it. If there's too much crimes happening, the police and courthouse can handle it. So a lot of crimes will be unsolved. A lot of perpetrators will not be put in prison. Simple as that. Energy waves through persistent pressure. So you get leverage and you're relevant. And the believer has actual real power to do this more easily. Worldlings can become pagan and generate things through rituals, but there's side effects with it. That's the reality, y'all. Anything else is just a la la land to keep you trapped into a false hope. Is this all clear? God is good to you. You think when people don't like you, they're listen, they're already emitting negativity towards you anyway, to the energy fields by not liking you. They're already affecting your life. And you never consented nor gave permission on it, but you have no consent to give permission to give. There's no such thing as giving permission or consent spiritually. You either counter an energy wave or you receive it willingly. But there's no such thing as consent. the one that persists spirit in the energetic field, their assumption is hardened into fact. That's how it works. That's why evildoers get away with so much shit on the earth. Because they understand the nature of reality, how God built the earth. But a lot of quote unquote good people, or a lot of believers don't understand it. They follow all this bullshit we're socialized in. Now, not everything we're socialized in is bullshit. Some things we're socialized in are actually handy and practical in life. But just know, a lot of things that society socialized in are not even real and not even beneficial. Okay? So stop harming yourself by following narcissistic promises of the world. You don't have control, never had, never will. You're not God. You don't have ownership. God is only owner. You have associations and possessions. That's it. And people have a right to give to ask and account from you for how you deal with your possession and associations. Well, to some extent. But we all will answer the Heavenly Father anyway. You don't have to answer everyone else, but we will answer the Heavenly Father. So you do owe other people, and other people do owe you. The whole thing, I don't owe anyone anything. It's my life. Do whatever I want. Leave me alone. That does not exist. Demons know this. Satan knows this. The top people in the occult, into devil worship, they know this too. Yo, how can you be a believer and hold on to all this narcissistic crap of the world and yet you expect a good outcome? No. If you hold on to the false promise of the world, then don't complain when you get bad outcomes over and over again. You need to actually operate in a real spirit science and get a real leverage in order to do the will of God in life. Okay? The people in the world will do evil and get away with it because they understand all of this. But are people teachable? How come you have people who are evil and racial are teachable to get away with their bullshit? And people who so want to do good are not teachable. People hold on to boundaries, ideas, principles, all the other things that actually don't matter. Anyway, that's it for now. About to go to sleep soon. Thank you all for being here. Keep agreeing with Christ. And I'll see you in the next live stream. God